Welcome, everybody. Probably no one, I don't know, to our experimental show about the sessions, what's been going on, general recap, general Riku and catch up on what's been happening, and a review of the last session. This is probably, hopefully, not going to last as long as the main sessions themselves, because I'm not forcing them to have a break this time. I've employed...
I'm going to be starving by the end of this.
You can eat during. No one cares.
I didn't prepare food.
So how is everyone?
All right.
Not quite hungry?
Not quite hungry. Okay. Do you want to do a feeding scene?
Yeah, yes, there we go.
Actually, I only slightly want to burn Adobe to the ground, but other than that, I'm fine.
Is that your burning desire?
Yes.
Adobe programs suck, but I have to.
That's my new. What's it? Not ambition. What's the long one?
No, ambition's the long
run. It's the. Oh, okay, so my new ambition is to burn down the Adobe headquarters.
Well, lucky feet. No.
If only you were in London, right?
I mean, you can go to London, but within 10 minutes, game over.
Yeah. I'm still going to make that trip to talk about.
Start a new story thing or something, yeah.
Hey, Stormy.
That's what we do. We just go to London.
So, the last session, we've sort of finished off Armand's personal story, sort of. There's still some ongoing drama there, because it took him ages to apologise. Yeah.
That was not Amon's fault.
Well, it was fun being on the other side of that argument for once.
It was not fun being Amon in that situation.
Was it really not fun? Because sometimes that type of stuff is fun.
I think it was more so that like I just wasn't. I don't know, since I don't interact with the character of my wife very much. I don't really know how she reacts to certain things. So my whole if I say this or if she says this, I'll respond with this kind of like thing that I did the week leading up to the game didn't help at all. Because right out of the gate, she reacted the exact opposite I was expecting.
As an actual woman, Miss Hartz, what did you think?
I thought you were good.
Do you think that was a normal, natural reaction that she did?
Not necessarily, but it was amusing.
Well, I'll take that.
She's kind of on the Karen end of the spectrum.
Typical that Armand would marry a Karen.
Well, yeah, to be fair,
name your daughter after a stripper.
She's not named after a stripper.
Wait, what was your daughter's name?
I don't even know where that chick came
Tara.
from. Tara.
Okay.
Such a stripper name.
Now that you pointed out, sure, but when I wrote it down, it was not.
No offense to anyone who was named Karen watching, but during the lockdown, at least you don't have to get your tits out.
I mean, it could have been worse. He could have wrote down that her name was like Brandy or Tequila or something like that.
I knew a girl in middle school named Tequila.
Charity.
I'm not
Really?
joking. I thought it was the weirdest thing. Yeah.
Okay. I wonder what she's doing now.
Play the harp sound. Like going through a flashback.
And so you had your domestic bliss discussion with her, and you've still got to sort of probably fix the remnants of your marriage as you're sleeping on the sofa in your hideaway.
Yep, I've already started working on that a little bit, as you know. Not sure where that's going to go, but that also means that Amon's story being over doesn't exactly mean that I get to not have to deal with stuff anymore and just dealing with other people's problems. I still have to deal with my own problems. I just don't have to worry about anybody kidnapping my family anytime soon. Hopefully not anymore, but probably anytime soon. Yeah.
And Cedra suggested that you go to the cursed shop for a gift, which isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, but that one word stops
Shop.
me, and it's yes.
Cursed?
I'm a guy. I don't like shopping. No, but yeah, cursed is like, honey, here's this ring, but it slowly sucks out your soul.
What were you saying, Muscavian?
You need to go to the shop and try to order. I'm trying to think what it is. Is it Covetous Eyes or something like that? Maybe I'm misthinking.
I don't know that one.
I could be misquoting. I have to look it up. But that shop kind of reminded me of Mr. Ox's shop. And I think there was a quest. Hold on.
Do you know what the best thing about that shop was?
What?
I prepared for every single way for you to acquire these gifts. Stealing, seduction, stealth, general robbery. What do you decide to do? We're just going to buy them.
Just buy it.
I didn't think of that.
Why should we take the hard way?
So the whole shop thing, that was all made up on the spot.
Nice.
That was fun.
And
by fun,
Envious Eye.
Hey, Fastcat. Hey, Wikipedia.
You had a quest to achieve.
Hey guys, yeah, we can actually say hi to people during the stream now.
What do these scary eyes do?
Oh, it's just part of a quest in the Bloodlines.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be like, oh, it makes you see your worst fears.
There is.
Oh, I don't know.
But they look great as earrings.
Oh, what's the eye thing in Beckett's Jihad Diary?
Oh man, I don't remember.
Oh, we should have seen if they had a monkey's claw.
It is an occult shop.
I'm sorry, but that would be too racist.
And aside from the whole wife domestic thing is I guess that this whole Ripper thing has become sort of like a kind of side quest for Amon, like a vendetta almost. Because he, until proven otherwise right now, he's thinking werewolves, and he has a thing against werewolves where he's just, I don't think he doesn't like him, he just is uneasy.
Where he doesn't like him.
For sure, around the... but yeah, probably that's my current...
That's a healthy fear.
My marriage. Yeah, fear and super distrust. It's not just scared of him. He's also very stink eye about it.
That's fair though. I mean, Cedra doesn't like him either, just because the whole vampires versus werewolves thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is why he's werewolves are bad, and Xavier's yeah, but they aren't that bad. Look at what we saw, and it's kind of creating a unique banter between the coterie, where it's you shouldn't trust. I keep wanting to say vampires. You shouldn't trust vampires. Actually, you shouldn't trust Lupine, but Xavier's nah, the one Lupine I've seen, it was on a leash and he behaved fine after he murdered those 3 Thin Bloods. But,
Well, and I keep getting Lupine and Garou mixed up, because I always thought they were the same, but apparently they're different.
Oh.
Well, Garou can be any were animal.
Right.
Whereas
and
Lupine is specifically a wolf, yeah.
Okay, but Lupine are Garou? That was my
Yes,
confusion.
but not
Yes?
exclusively.
Okay.
So
Right.
so like
It's like a square rectangle thing.
Yeah.
so is it like kindred or vampires? So that means that like a Bruja is a vampire, but not all vampires are Bruja.
They don't
Kinda
like to
thing?
use the word vampire, at least in the modern day
Yeah, I
setting.
know.
But yes,
It's the V
I
word.
know, but it's like I was just
Yeah,
using
well-
it instead of like werewolf.
I guess what I was confused with was in vampire, do they differentiate
Tavi.
between like the glue from werewolf and then like maybe a more generic werewolf? That's what I was confused.
well, in VTM specifically, they're probably not. Very few are even aware of the word Garou.
True.
So
Um,
what you're saying is I can be a were-turtle if I try hard enough.
yes,
Sweet.
in theory they exist.
It's like, okay, we're killing enough of mine. Nitro's gonna be a
I
weird
know
girl
what I'm
now.
coming back as.
Well-
Fastcart asks, how soon until Armon is just sitting at home in a wife beater dreaming of better days?
What day of the month
calling
is
his
it?
wife
The
Peggy?
6th? Yeah. Sitting there on the couch with his hand down the just
Yeah.
four fingers
Tardigrades.
down the front of his pants. Yeah.
Weird tardigrade.
But that
Something
leads us
else
nicely.
that's-
Oh yeah,
No, go
No, no.
ahead. Go ahead.
no, please
I was just gonna talk about the werewolves more.
do
No,
it. do it.
you. No, you.
Something else that's interesting about werewolves and I guess other were animals is I think we mentioned on the last episode or the episode before they have the 5 forms, right? Like the human form, wolf form. Well,
Mm.
like the glue is sort of a spirit that inhabits a physical body. So you can have a glue spirit in a human or a wolf. So you could technically have originally been a wolf who learned how to shapeshift into a human, or a human that learned how to shapeshift into a wolf.
Oh, that's rad. I want to be
Yeah.
a turtle that learned how to be human.
What would you name yourself, Raphael or
I'm gonna
something?
wield- He did
I would
it.
obviously be Donatello. Come on now.
All the
My
rum
favorite was
belongs
always
to Traven.
Michelangelo.
Which one was the
Oh.
purple one with the staff? That was my favorite.
Donatello.
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 Okay.
He was the nerd. That's why. I
Yeah,
liked him.
exactly. He was a smart one.
Do you want to know something very confusing?
What?
The name of the staff is a bow.
Yes.
Staff?
I knew that. Do you want to know something else really, really confusing? In the original animated Ninja Turtles cartoon, the voice actor that played Raphael now plays Donatello in the current animated cartoon.
And you know that Shredder
It's
in
also-
the original cartoon was voiced by Uncle Phil.
Really?
Yeah.
The voice actor that I'm talking about also played Pinky in Pinky and the Brain.
Narf.
So that leads us nicely into, you've started this new sort of sub-story with the French woman.
Hmm.
And Traven's right, all the turtles were red originally, because there's the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the comic books they tied in the night that the mutagen fell into the sewers with the same night that Daredevil had an accident or something.
I believe that's
Oh.
correct, yeah.
Interesting.
Wait, are you sure it's Daredevil? Because Daredevil's Marvel and TMNT is DC.
It would be Daredevil
TMT.
because go ahead.
TMNT was originally independent, then it went to
You're right.
DC, now it's IDW.
No, you're right. Because now that as soon as Nuskavian started explaining it, I remember exactly what he was talking about.
And they also kind of parodied Daredevil too. Like Daredevil had the hand, so they had the foot,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then they had Stick, and then they had Splinter. So it was sort of a
Mhm.
bit of a parody.
And the comics were quite graphic, as I understand it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, even to this day, TMNT comics are still can get pretty violent. Cut back to 1992 when the live action movies were out and they weren't even allowed to carry weapons.
What?
Oh.
Really? Because I remember seeing that in the cinema and they were kicking ass with things.
The second movie, they took away they weren't allowed to fight with their weapons.
The second movie.
The second one's my favorite.
I was too old for it by that point.
Most people are not aware of Traven's awesomeness, and having watched this, most people are still not aware of Traven's awesomeness because most people don't watch this.
They're very aware of the Ninja Turtles now though.
Yeah, let's check into this vampire stream that's talking about Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, so the French woman with the thing.
French woman.
That was fun.
I am interested in hearing more of her story.
Do you just want to hear me do an embarrassing French accent?
You keep beating yourself up, Shiv. But yeah, there was a really good tabletop accent. Like, it made her into a believable person from a different country. It wasn't funny. It was it was funny because you kept thinking that it was embarrassing and we were laughing at how embarrassed you were getting. But it was a really good voice.
Yeah, I like the voice.
It's a shameful display. Now I have to figure out how to get Fastcart in here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just cheat and give him a roll.
Give him a roll?
There we go.
Yeah.
Ask him to do a rouse check.
Do werewolves do rouse checks?
No.
No.
They have frenzy checks for basically existing.
Yeah.
I played werewolf once in 1999. One whole session.
They're doing a new one.
Yeah, I haven't played werewolf yet. And I've just read up about it, but I might pick up the new one.
Hello, I'm waiting for my camera again. Oh, there it is.
They've got B. Dave Walters, I think that's the name. I hope that's the name. From LA by Night, actually working on it, helping with the writing and stuff. So it might be interesting.
Well, did you see they're working on a werewolf video game too? What is it, Earthbound or Earthblood or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mixed feelings about that in the community because it's more of an action game than an RPG. There he is.
Howdy ho! That's the way I wanted to introduce myself the first time I was on stream.
Oh yeah.
Probably a good thing you did.
Yeah. So. So I was listening to you all. I went to the restroom to freshen up a bit. But yes, Garu are all wolf lupine, but they're all different kinds of rare creatures, and they call it something differently from Garu. Like bears. Were bears call themselves Goral. And there are were lizards, which are Mokele, and they can turn into astral dinosaurs.
Ooh.
I know that it's a different
I want to turn
setting
into a
because it's
dinosaur.
D&D. Yeah, I do too. Dinosaur or a turtle? Oh, I could just be both. I'll be Ankylosaurus.
Actually, yeah, you could be. I think that were lizard. There are forms of were lizard that may be a turtle. I'm not sure about that.
But
if they're aware,
no, I know that it's
and
yes,
they care about the environment. Are they care bears or care bears?
I knew exactly where you were going when you said care.
Oh, you know what?
I knew exactly where he was going when he said werebears.
I bet you Smokey is one of them. Smokey the Bear has gotta be.
Smokey the Bear
yeah.
character.
He's the fourth form, where you're mostly bear.
Exactly.
Yeah,
mostly bear.
Yeah,
but
no, like
mostly bear. Doesn't he get cold?
And actually, my favorite rare creature are the werebears.
Swearbear.
Swear bears.
Because they have the ability to not only heal others, but to heal themselves.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's very handy
But
in a fight.
the downside is they have this overwhelming compulsion to steal picnic baskets.
You boo boo.
Only when they're out in the forest.
I know that it's a different setting with it being D&D, whereas werewolves and vampire is more modern day type stuff. But I know in D&D they have rare sharks, and those
They have
sound
were sharks in
Were shark,
darkness.
do.
They actually have were
do
sharks
they walk
in
on land?
darkness. What?
Oh.
Do weresharks walk on land?
They can.
How does that work? Or is it just
If they're
mermaids?
Oh, you shouldn't ask Fast Cat and Nitro about walking. They're not experts.
And
If
in
a
their
bear
wolf form,
shits in the woods, is there
in their
anybody
wolf
around to
form,
hear it?
they have legs. In a pure shark form, they're happy to exist in the water.
Do they have a license to
Okay.
kill?
And I forgot the name of them. So, what about the
Do they
kill?
have freaking lasers on their heads?
Not unless you put them there.
I just imagine like a badass at a bar, saying, "Oh, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry." Then he hulks out, turns into a giant shark, flops around choking, unable to breathe.
Aquaman, save us!
Yeah, and the other ones are the werecat. They're like Bastet. They're like leopards and panthers.
Hmm.
So Fast Cut, because you watch basically everything we do, or should I say, everything that is in. Because it's not us you come for.
I come for you guys.
I'm not making that joke.
So what about
I'm
it?
not making that joke either.
Let us go move on past the joke.
Okay.
Be silent for the rest of the stream while no one jokes.
Really trying to resist that joke. No. That's two on the nose.
So what did you want to ask?
Speechless.
Trevor? I thought you were going someplace.
Yes. What did you make of the last session?
I
It's
can't
the French woman.
remember everything.
Last session,
I thought you
we
were
did
very good at the
the-
French woman.
Say this.
We were helping the French lady find her friend, and we ended up finding the place under the church, next to
Oh
the
yeah,
church.
my question was when they were knocking on the door at the very end, you didn't expect them to go in. What were you expecting them to do?
Well,
I think he expected us to run out of time.
yes, partially that and slash or
Hmm.
let's not go in. Let's not break into the house where there's no one there to return a collar. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
You expect
To be
us to break into every
fair-
other house?
To be fair, the last time you had us go to somebody's house to find out information, they also didn't answer the door, and their apartment looked empty. And we broke in, and we found a dead guy and a shoe in a microwave.
Yeah, but that was you were specifically told go find this pet human.
Actually, the last time
This was a person with
went
a
to the
collar.
church.
Was obviously still a pet human.
Oh, wait, the actual last time you went to a church and you found clues to among family.
Well, that was the shack behind
And-
the church.
Right.
So
And for a moment there, we were thinking that was actually among family that he had just killed or eaten or whatever.
oh wow. So I guess the lesson learned is if you find an article belonging to somebody and it has their address to return it and they don't answer the door, you break in because they might be a devil worshiper. Got it.
I appreciate the fact that you're
That's
calling them a
the
devil
real, uh,
worshipper and not a
life lesson.
Satanist. Thank you.
Wait, there's a difference? No, I'm
Very
kidding.
much so.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, when Shiva first started describing like the altar and stuff, I was like, "Oh crap, are we going to see some Bali?" That was my first thought.
Is it?
That reminds me.
Yeah,
I haven't
Bali
done my
aren't in
homework.
V5 yet. Oh yeah,
I
you
don't think they
because
are.
you've got an unknown
have homework.
correspondent.
Yeah, I have homework.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the differences between V5 and V3. I didn't mess with V20 and no, not
The
V3.
difference is 2.
So I guess Fastcut, you have experience with the new World of Darkness, World of Darkness Chronicles now, or Chronicles of Darkness.
No, I was mistaken. I meant V2 and V5. So
Oh,
V2
okay.
it's basically V20 as far as I remember. As far as I recall.
Yeah, second edition revised V20 was basically just like an anniversary edition of the second edition. Yeah. Okay.
There is
So
currently
like I actually play. Oh, go ahead.
on Kickstarter right now. Onyx Path are currently doing Mage 20 Reloaded. If you're interested in kickstarting that.
Ooh. I didn't know that.
Is that the worst version of Matrix?
Mage is crazy. Crazy in a good way.
Oh yeah, if anyone wants to know about Mage, I can talk about it. But
Well,
it'll
like,
blow your
yeah.
mind.
The source book for Mage is about that thick. It's the biggest source book. Oh, there we go. It is crazy.
How big is it? Oh,
Oh
that's
my
big.
god.
This is
Oh
me
my
saying
god, is that it?
It's one of them.
Even
This
Miss
thing's
Fresh.
huge. Nobody clipped this.
Come on
So you just
now.
also with the clip.
Now that you said that,
Mm-hmm.
and clip. I'll fix it later.
All right. Here is V5. Here is
It's still
V20.
a lot thicker than the first one I encountered, but I can't remember what edition it was.
And here is Mage.
Clip that.
So Mage is they're pretty comparable. Mage is definitely a bit thicker.
Wait, which one was on top?
Oh, the
Mage.
purple one is Mage. I also got this in the leather bound version too.
Oh, nice.
And what was the other one?
This is
V20.
V20. This is the 20th anniversary.
Oh, okay, Vampire. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like Mage is
They have different
about
covers.
678 pages.
I just have to say, look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, and Vampire is about
Definitely clipped out.
300 or so. Oh, V20.
Yeah, V20 is about 518. So
Mm.
it's about 100 pages longer.
These are all the source books for V5.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the
And then the
W5
Chicago by
Rebels
Night.
edition.
Yep.
Mm.
Got that one too.
I'm just sitting here
And then
jealous.
there's Fall of
'cause,
London.
like, the only
I don't have.
the only RPG book that I have right now is in PDF form because I missed the Kickstarter to get a physical copy, and it makes me sad because
Aw.
it would be one of the larger books like that because it's like 500 some pages.
I do have
Which
something
book?
bigger than Mage, though.
It's a RPG
That's
called
what they all
Lancer.
say.
Star Trek.
It's completely different. Oh my goodness
Wait, what?
gracious!
Star
What
Trek.
is
Oh, it's a
Star Trek.
board cube!
Wow.
That's awesome.
What is inside that? Just
Borg.
the disc?
The deluxe core book, 2 shelves, tokens, and a storyteller screen.
What about
Oh, and
4D
dice.
chess?
Lots of dice.
Is it? No, it's 3D chess, not 4D. Sorry.
I have to give a shout out to Wikipedia real quick. He said, "I like big books and I cannot lie." That really go together.
So with the new-ish, well, the new sub-story, I'm trying to channel a noir feeling. And that's very difficult.
Mm.
Oh, why? Because we're
Um,
not as serious as we should be?
I mean,
I
that's-
think if you tried to find some music to kind of put us in that mood, like maybe some jazz or something like that, it might help.
Well, it's funny you say that, because one of the scenes for the upcoming session, I was like, yeah, Sin City.
Yeah, okay,
That's a
that could
great
work.
movie.
I played
That
a
could
song
work.
from Dick Tracy on my show last week.
I need
Last
to
week?
rewatch
This
Sin
week?
City. It's been a while.
Why didn't you get that?
Yesterday.
You said last
Yesterday
week.
was
Wasn't it
the
last
second.
night?
Oh, but last night was last week at this point. Because
At-
this
at
week's
this
show would be
point-
the upcoming show.
At this point, because of the way the world is, we're all just Robin Williams from the original Jumanji, where he wakes up, he's like, "What year is it?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, it's amazing. I was like, this is a leap year, it's supposed to be, but I mean,
Yes.
April had like 60 days in it.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah, what's that meme? January had 31 days, February had 29, March had 60, April had 300.
Something like that.
I mean,
it feels like the weeks go by like super fast, but the month is taking forever.
they haven't done an official lockdown here, but they have encouraged everyone to stay home. And this is Golden Week. Yesterday on the news, they showed the traffic jams coming out of Tokyo completely non-moving. It's like, yep, that lockdown's working really well. Glad everyone stayed home.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Yeah,
Golden
the
Week?
subway's still crowded and everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, not the subways, the main trains. Golden Week is a big holiday over here. For
Yeah, I
5
mean,
days,
like
but technically a week.
Steam had a sale going on for Golden Week. I'm trying not to buy anything.
Ooh, I'll have to take a look.
I've actually been
what's,
doing a really good job,
what's
or
the
I just don't
holiday
open Steam.
celebrating?
Gold.
Gold.
Oh, okay.
In my understanding, it's just basically that spring break.
And they call Americans capitalist.
Have I told you about the Festival of the Iron Penis?
I've read about that. I've seen parade pictures.
It's completely true.
So-
It's not a fallacy.
Good one. So I guess
My,
this week. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was about to say my
Go ahead. Talks anyway.
my. Sorry. Well, because if I brought this up after, it would have been really out of context. But in Animal Crossing, you'll get like different like Japanese themed stuff, and they'll just have generic names thrown on them rather than what they're really called. So my cousin got a Tanuki statue in his house, and it's just called a raccoon statue. But I don't know if you've seen any Tanuki statues over in Japan. But they're essentially raccoons that are dressed up in shirts and hats, and they have humongous testicles.
Yep, there's an anime. Miyazaki made an anime about that.
I did not know that. But yeah, apparently they're supposed to bring like good luck or something. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
they're lucky.
statues are very exaggerated, to say the least.
And the Japanese never do anything exaggerated. They're accurate on everything. Every portrayal.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had one of those statues with the giant testicles, put it against a wall and turn it around, would that be balls to the wall?
Yes.
So Noskavian, you were saying.
Since it is Gold Week, I expect Shiv to be in the episode with like a gold jacket and like gold parachute pants. So just like full on
Painted
gold
gold.
everything. Yeah, painted
One of
gold.
those giant like Flavor Flav clocks around his neck.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
You
exactly.
stole my joke. I was about to say that. And I could be his hype man. Say, yeah, boy.
Two very different people. You see, he goes to Flavor Flav, and I'm thinking of Midas.
Midas makes perfect sense.
Just
So did Flavor Flav, though, in fairness. So yeah,
gold member.
with back to VTM. Sorry.
Is that what we're talking
Oh,
about?
this isn't a Flavor Flav stream?
This is what happens when you don't give us game to play, Shiv.
Yeah, yeah. This is what happens when I give
We
you a
stay
game to
so
play.
on track during the game. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, hey, Star Helix.
Yo.
Hello.
So yeah, you'll be going into Tremere stuff. I'm not entirely sure if Tremere and Noir are going to blend, but we'll find out.
Great, even less stuff I get to punch.
Not necessarily.
Cedra's fine with you punching Tremere.
You know, and to be fair, if Caesar's okay with it, Lamont's okay with it.
I mean, a lot of Tremers have punchable faces. They just have a face
They
that
do.
you just have to punch.
They do.
For the Anarch Tremere,
Mm.
I'm doing something different to what you expect from Tremere.
Ah.
Apart from Noskavian, who's
Hmm.
A stabbable face.
just different.
Yeah, historically, I had never really liked Tremere very much. I always liked that they were blood mages. I mean, I like magic, but just the whole like pyramidal structure and how originally all Tremere were blood bonded. I just thought that was really restricted your gameplay and kind of
very rigid.
You. Yeah, exactly,
Yep.
very rigid. But I really like what V5 did with them. They basically shattered the pyramid, and I think Tremere have never been more interesting to play. I think they are a lot cooler.
When I played, I
I
was
like
a.
how-
Go ahead.
I like how Triangularity is playing a Tremere, honestly.
Mm.
It makes great drama in the game.
When I played, I was a Bengal and a Bruiser. I mostly played Bruiser. So I identified with
Are you saying
with the monster
Booja?
a lot.
Bruja.
Yes.
Okay.
He was using Google
That
Translate.
edition came between version 1 and version 2. That's the in between that people don't talk about.
Back when I made my character, I almost went Gangrel. Gangrel seemed really interesting, but I ended up because I was like, oh, being more animalistic might be fun. And then it was like, yeah, or I could just be like angsty teenager that likes to punch things. I was like, cool, I'll be that instead.
Gangrel and Bruges are very similar in many respects, and then totally opposite in others.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
And, we've actually got because the Gangrel officially have left the Camarilla, but we've got Camarilla Gangrel, who is a deputy for the constable. We've already got to get out of the habit. It's been suggested to me as well that when you go to Elysium, there are other kindred that you know there, and I'm going through the list. And it's like, you know, a lot of Anarchs, not many Camarilla. Shit.
Yeah,
And
sure,
the
but
way
don't forget, there's one more.
Go
Go
on,
ahead.
go on.
There's one more Gangrel who you're forgetting about. The people she seem to love.
She's an anarch, though.
Lamia.
Oh, Lamia, yeah. Well, she's also not from Oxford.
Mm.
But Lamia, apart
what
from
were
the
you gonna say?
sheriff, apart from the sheriff's deputy, Lamia was the only, it's the first Gangrel to actually really make an appearance.
No, the sheriff is like the Anarch's version of the Scourge, right?
Nope.
What?
The constable slash sheriff. We call it's the official title would be sheriff, but because we're in the UK, we're going to call him constable. Is Camarilla and enforces the traditions, which is why it's almost like the policeman to an extent, which is why you had that far earlier encounter where the sheriff was taking on a second Inquisition agent.
Oh, I wasn't part of that.
So the sheriff and the scourge aren't the same thing.
Correct.
Nope.
The Scourge is a Camarilla, is a new thing from the Camarilla. The only purpose of the Scourge is to eliminate Anarchs, Caitiff, and Thinbloods. Because they're signed
Yeah,
to the
I just remember that at one point you mentioned that the Anarch has their version of the Scourge, but I thought it was the sheriff. I just can't remember what the name of it is.
We call them Sherlocks.
That's probably why I thought it was sheriff.
I'm
I'm not 100. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I'm not 100% sure if this is a great analogy, but I always kind of think of like the sheriff as your police force, or like your sort of official police member, kind of enforcing the law, and then the Scourge is like the secret police when you just want someone to be disappeared.
Right.
Yeah.
The Scourge is the mafia.
They're kind of Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is
that's
Judge
kinda how I
Dredd, funnily
pictured it. I
enough,
just mistook.
is also the comic who makes him is based in Oxford. Rebellion Developments.
Are we going to say? Are we talking about the Sylvester Stallone version or the later version that's better?
We don't talk about the Sly Stallone version.
I am the law.
Spends
That
most
was
of his
a bad
time with his
impersonation,
fucking helmet
sorry.
off. Do you know what Judge Dredd's first name is?
Judge.
Judge.
Joe.
Joe.
Judge Joe Dredd.
Dredd.
Joseph Dredd.
I like how we all said Judge, basically. We're all in the same joke.
He's a
I mean,
clone.
in this group, that's the obvious answer.
He's a clone of one of the old. I can't remember the name, but the judge that was in charge.
Joe?
He's a clone of one of the old judges that used to be in charge.
Oh,
And then they ordered. Then they had
John.
Order 66.
No.
oh, what is he saying?
But we've got some interesting stuff coming up in the next session. Armand made his decision about which sect to join. I'm not going to say which sect he's joining, but he's made a decision.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
There's a rumor that
I'm scared
Kano will
about that.
return.
God, all right.
I'm not sure he's allowed to, is he?
What?
What was the question?
He's not a member of the family.
Yeah.
What was the question?
If he's allowed to join the Hakata family.
Oh.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I don't think he would, but that'd be really interesting if I did that.
Is that something you can do, or is it something you have to be embraced into?
I think you have to be embraced into it.
Yeah, it's like being a part of any clan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Camarilla isn't really a clan, so you can kind of just join
Right.
in
Mhm.
as long as you're kindred.
I mean, since with V5 things have changed a lot. Before V5, the Camarilla, as far as they were concerned, every kindred, apart from the Sabbat, was a member of the Camarilla, whether you were Anarch or not. Camarilla just viewed you as part of the Camarilla, and then that changed with V5, and they said, "Nope, Anarchs, you're on your own."
I don't remember. Maybe we just never played Anarch. I don't remember actually being able to play as an Anarch.
Yeah, I would play that Camilla.
They were before V5.
Maybe
They were a
my group
smaller
just never
thing.
did.
I mean, you had V1 where they were
Yeah,
a
it
bigger
was
thing.
before. I think it was maybe 2 that I played.
That's when
I
it turned
definitely
into
think so.
basically Sabbat versus Camarilla.
Exactly. Yeah, it was
Hmm.
mid '90s, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And now the Sabbat
Back in the
basically
good old
fucked off.
days. So, Shiva, I mean, I have a question for you. Do you like V5 compared to V2? Like the differences?
From a mechanical standpoint, V5 is a hell of a lot easier to understand and get into.
Mm.
I love the hunger mechanics. The fact that hunger is now this important thing that's in there rather than just, vampires, they feed, at some point, whatever. But now it's quite an important thing.
Yeah, now that as a new player that's never played any form of vampire before, now that we fully understand the willpower, the willpower thing got a little bit worse, but not in a bad way. Just I can't have all my willpower back type of thing. But it does make it to where you're more likely to be like, no, I'll stick with that roll. I'll stick with that roll because I won't be able to get all my willpower back. At least that's how I've been playing now. I mean
you
my
can
resolve
stack
is
it up
pretty high.
if you save your willpower over.
Right.
You can stack it up.
Right. And my resolve's pretty high anyway, so at worst I'd be 2 willpower down if I went all the way down to 0 and then reset. But still, it's kind of making me think a little bit different. That and the health system, now that we fully understand that, I'm more willing to run into a fight now, because that one time Kalo shot me and it did 6 damage, and I thought we thought that meant I went into torpor. I was like, oh, like I knew that this game wasn't about combat, but combat is scary in this game. At least player character versus player character.
Damage is kind of a rare thing as it is.
Yeah, and it was because of the fact that it was
unless you go around licking convents
shooting me.
And another thing you can do.
I'm not making that mistake again.
Another thing you can do, like when you're in combat, if you're taking some non-lethal, like, it's not bashing now, it's just called non-lethal damage, right?
Superficial damage.
If you take superficial, that's right. If you're taking like superficial damage, and you don't want it to turn into aggravated damage, I'm pretty sure you can use your turn. It's like one of the blood powers. Like there's just if they had the blood surge, you can knit your wound. I'm pretty sure.
I mean that makes sense.
Right?
And with a lot of games, at least like the one game where I'm learning to play right now, that's a little bit more combat heavy than this one, it's actually more beneficial to stop in the middle of the combat and be like, I try and heal myself, because it's going to take more, or it's going to be more difficult or have more drawbacks if you just try and do it later out of combat. So,
I mean, you can take a turn to heal superficial damage in combat,
right,
rather than fight.
And that isn't limited by the once per scene like the other one is, right?
It's limited to once per turn.
Yep.
I mean, as a level player, I'm interested in what changes you're going to make to in W5, because I mean I see what changes they made in V5. I'm like, okay, some of it could be interesting. Like I'm interested in like the rage in particular. Rage is like it's like not humanity.
It's like hunger.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in how that goes. We don't have a humanity and just in werewolf, but I could see them trying to implement it somehow in W5 if they actually wanted to make everything compatible. But we'll see.
I mean, I know in I think it's Chronicles of Darkness, where it's all encompassing. You can have a mixed party of a mage, a werewolf, and a vampire, but it's also very different rules.
So what happens when a mage, a wolf, and a vampire walk into a bar?
I was waiting for that. Does anyone,
I think
any of the 3 people watching have any questions, by the way? If you do, just shoot them out.
Give us questions so we have something interesting to talk about.
Yeah, while they're figuring out stuff to ask, that's one of the that's one of the things that I've been having fun trying to retroactively do to my character now. I mean, I knew going into it that combat wasn't a big thing, but I'm the kind of person that loves building a combat character. And then at the time, Shiver was like, "Oh, it's great because the group doesn't really have a fighter other than Xavier, so having two might be good." Blah blah blah. And so like retroactively, it's been kind of fun for me to be like, well, how can I make this character that's good for nothing but punching things? How do I make him more useful out of combat? Either by leveling up stats, which I did do a while ago. Actually, I still have a bunch of XP I have to spend. But like knowing that Kalo is around, I up my technology a little bit so that way we can kind of do a little bit of technology stuff. And I knew that my character would do that anyway.
And lockpicks.
There was another thing. Yeah, I upped my larceny so we could lockpick stuff.
Don't forget strength and investigation rolls.
No, that was great.
I didn't think about that one.
So I actually did the opposite, which is how Seadra became kind of a pseudo fighter. I started out as mostly a sorcerer, but I had the sword, and then I got to use the sword, and I'm like, I want to use the sword more. So I started leveling up my melee a little bit, making the sword a little more.
The combat is few and far between in this game, but the combat is so much fun. Like
it is fun.
During Wonderland, that first room where Alice ended up like having 3 things chase her into the room, and I was like, oh, now it's my turn to kill some things, and I ran in there and just like roundhouse kicked the 3 of them in the face and killed them my first try. It was like, oh, that's why I built my character like this. Okay.
Satisfying.
One of the reasons why I do like werewolf over vampires, because vampires more about intrigue and emo and stuff like that. I mean, there is that in werewolf too, but it's more about combat, and so that's why some werewolf players have a stereotype that we call combat monkey, because that's all we do. But we do like combat, but we can do other stuff too.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Nuskaven.
I think with werewolf, a lot of the politicking just has to do with like pack politics and like stuff like that. Right?
Yeah, tribal politics.
Yeah, tribal
politics. Mm-hmm. It's like clan politics, except much bloodier.
The clan politics all depend on the clan. Like Tremere politics are going to be a lot different than Bruges politics.
And you're going to be finding out about Tremere politics very soon.
I wonder how the Tremere are going to feel about that.
I mean, there's a very limited amount of Tremere as well in Oxford, because traditionally speaking, when Mithras was in charge of the whole of UK, he did not like the Tremere. So they've only just, in our story, there's a very small presence. Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm not sure how different the Anarch Tremere are compared to the Camarilla, where, the doctor's very scholarly, whereas I don't know if the Anarch Tremere are similar. But I can't wait to run into a clan that I'm not afraid to maybe threaten if I need to. Because, like, I wanted to do that. Yeah, only if I need to. But it's like, I mean, with Camarilla, I don't really want to. Yeah.
I'm expecting the Anarch Tremere to do a lot more black magic.
Because, like, whenever we interact with the Camarilla clan, it's like, but we don't want to do anything risky because we don't want to piss off the Camarilla. And then the only real Anarch clan that we've talked to at the moment is the Bruges. And you don't walk into a Bruges haven and pick a fight. So, being able to have the option now will be fun. I wanted to start a fight, but I knew it was a bad idea.
I don't know. A fight against the Tremere will be kind of cool because we'll get to see some more, I think, of the magic mechanics from it that we haven't seen a whole lot of. Not as an offensive mechanism.
That's true. That's true. And a lot of the really cool stuff you can do with thaumaturgy and necromancy is ritual based too. Yeah.
which
I
isn't
need
so
an
much
entire
in
cheat sheet
combat.
just for Isaac's disciplines.
I could probably throw something together for you if you like.
No, I've got it.
That's what I could.
I just keep
Okay,
meaning to.
That's what I
I've
should
got to do it.
upgrade. I have like
Um,
4
That reminds me,
disciplines.
there is one bit of blood magic that I keep meaning to add, but I can't remember whether or not I've added it. No, I'm checking.
I have 4 disciplines. One's at level 3, and the other 3 are at level 1. I should probably upgrade those.
I have not added it yet. That might be where my experience is going.
I have
I
one more
do-
discipline I need to get, but I need to feed on something first. And like I could do it but that'd kind of be metagaming. I could just feed on the blood doll because after Xavier fed on her, he got the option for it. But I wouldn't know that, so I can't do that.
But okay, so you wouldn't know that, so you can't do that. But at the same time, she is an easy source of food, and she wants to be fed on. So it's fair to say
That's
you're
true.
hungry, you don't want to go out. You know,
I mean,
we're
but
gonna get
to-
takeout tonight. Yeah.
in comparison, it is kind of like giving a heroin addict heroin.
Yes, yes, it is. So it depends how much you care about her.
I wonder. I
I don't
wonder
even know who she is.
I wonder what she would think if Isaac tried to feed on her.
Ow!
Oh God.
Oh, that would be scary. I kind of
She'd
want
be
to
like,
see
"Oh
that
yeah,
now.
feed on me." Then she just starts like screaming. She's like, "I don't want to be fed on again."
Okay, no.
That's
Dolores
like,
has
that's like
left
when you
the building.
Drink too much. You drink too much, and the next day you have such a head hangover. I'm never drinking again. And
For
I
as long as I
don't
live.
really get hangovers, but it's a common trope.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that part of the painful bite, I don't think they can lick the wound close either. I'd have to check that. I don't think
they can.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So you're going to need a lot of plasters.
I do love the fact that Dolores has turned into a pseudo like I don't know what the term is, like hub NPC, like the first reoccurring NPC where she's kind of just hanging out at our place. Like we haven't taken advantage of that in any way, but it's like, oh yeah, there's Dolores, that really important NPC, just hanging out
Yeah,
in
she's like the
our domain.
shopkeeper.
Yeah.
I mean, the way
And
the
no one
story-
asked how she.
Sorry, go on,
Oh, go
Pascal.
ahead. Okay, I was gonna say no one asked how she got the position, why she wanted the position. She just started doing the job, and they're
No, we
like,
gave
"Okay,
it to
sure."
her. No, we gave it to her.
Oh, you gave it to her.
Well, you
Yeah,
My
sort
we
of.
as a coterie gave it to her.
You all fucked off to Wonderland, and before you decided what to
Yeah,
do with her,
that's
she's
right.
just back pulling pints for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I remember.
My favorite bit was when we saw her again after a while, and she was like, "Have you heard of this thing they invented called whiskey? It's great." That was probably one of my favorite Dolores lines.
You should have seen her face when she was given the Frogurt.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I gave her the.
Tempted to just, say that she has a great big freezer underneath the bar now, and she just brings out ice cream constantly. She's like, "Have you heard that they do strawberry ice cream? What's a strawberry?"
I would probably eat that often.
How old is she again? Her character?
Off the top of my head,
20s?
she's in her 20s, yeah.
Mhm.
But she
I
was.
would-
And how long was
Totally
she
do that.
in captivity or whatever?
You see, now this is the meta plot thing that I thought Isaac might have recognized. Her surname, Darby, is from her Carter Revenant family.
Mm.
So she was born into being a blood doll.
Ah.
I'm
So even as a baby.
like thinking about her like extreme reactions to new things. I'm totally tempted from now on, like whenever we start a game and we're all just at the pub, just kind of figuring out what to do. I'm gonna be at the bar, just being like, "Wait till you hear about cookies and cream," or so, like naming off ice cream flavors. Like, what about? Have you tried cookie
Just
dough?
randomly bring her a pint. Ben and
Yeah.
Jerry's.
Yeah.
Did this
Yeah.
Ben or did Jerry invent the ice
Well-
cream?
Yeah.
Well,
Revenant-
yes.
one day,
Sorry.
one day someone's going to introduce her to fish fingers and custard.
Oh,
Ew.
Some people got that joke.
Traven said, I heard, I'm at the bar, I'm in.
Yeah,
Plenty of
Remnant
Captain
families
Morgans.
are pretty.
That would be kind of fun. We could invite Traven in to be one of our patrons at some point. Just a guy sitting at the bar drinking rum.
Just describe Traven and he'll be like, is that me?
You know, he waxes philosophical with knowledge, spouts out random knowledge, sits at the bar drinking rum.
Yeah, he's just
I'm
sitting
gonna
at
write that in
the
now.
bar, and every time he takes a sip, he's like, "Traven fact number 72."
No, it'd be like, Traven fact number 69. Nice. He did a really good one the other day in Ms. Hart's server. What was it? I think it was 5 out of 6 people enjoy Russian roulette.
Right.
That was a good one.
Can you imagine how just distracted Dolores would be by him as a character? Just sitting there like, what does that mean? Like,
More rum.
Ah, there you go. Traven's knowledge number
She pulls
72
us
is
and pulls us into the office. We have a problem. We're out of rum.
some guy drank it all. All of it. Did you know you can order alcohol and it gets delivered? This is amazing. Why don't more people do this?
Yeah, I need to figure out how to do that.
Oh yeah, in the current setting in today's world.
Yes, it's
Yes.
2020 modern day. We're trying to make it pass in real time as well.
So
Which is why you have
yeah,
these.
like when you said that you spent 3 weeks in Alice in Wonderland, I'm like, wow, you actually spent 3 weeks there.
It was 3 weeks in real
actually
time.
felt like 3 weeks though, because
He did, yeah.
we went through so much, like we burned up so much willpower and got so injured, and like that was the first time I really felt like I was struggling.
You guys did.
Yeah.
I made it out of Wonderland pretty okay.
Not as bad as me trying to kill the dude, but and knocking on the convent door.
Oh,
I caught her having a foursome with 3 other walls.
Oh, that was a good line.
That
Actually,
was
to be
awesome.
fair,
The wall in general, for not being a planned character, was my favorite character out of all of that.
Wait, that wasn't a planned character? That character was amazing.
Yeah, the wall was my
You just-
favorite.
You just knocked on the wall and I'm like, oh shit. Shit. The wall talks to you. Why did I do this? Why did I do this?
It was
The
amazing.
wall!
my favorite bit was during the judge scene where we were being judged by the
Trial.
king. And the trial, that was I'm having trouble with words. And they just reel the wall in to the whatever. And everything that the wall said, I was just like, this isn't the wall complaining, this is Shiver complaining. Because he was like, oh, they came up to me and they knocked on me and they started asking me questions. And I had to talk to them. And I'm like, no, that's just Shiver complaining.
It's true.
The thing about Alice in Wonderland is like when you all made it out and you met to talk to Alice outside. I was expecting a fight, like straight up a fight.
Yeah, so was I, but she just kind of
I
fucked
think
off.
Shiver. Yeah, I think Shiver.
Maybe she'll come back later.
Oh, with Alice. I thought you meant with the king. I was gonna say
No,
I think
Alice.
Chip said
Well,
that,
A fight was
there was a
planned.
fight.
A social conflict was planned. And if you fart around too much, she's going to escape. You went with option 3, so she escaped.
Hey, I wouldn't really think it was too long.
No, it wasn't that long. I
Yeah,
guess it was
yeah.
just long enough.
Yeah,
I mean,
because she was like,
you were standing
ruined
around there
everything,"
going,
and then she
what the
ran
fuck
away.
just happened? And the only person who had any clue about it was Noscadian, and that was meta knowledge.
Oh, speaking of meta knowledge, I'm not sure if
I'll be right
Shiver. I'll wait till she come back then.
No, I can still hear you.
Okay, story. So, okay, I don't know if Shiver is okay with me saying this, but I mean, we talked about it, and I'm assuming that it's okay for me to say.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you mentioned it, but the Mercy and the wolf that you met in Wonderland, they look alike.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm trying to think of the wolf we
Wait,
met.
werewolf in Wonderland?
No, it wasn't a wolf.
The
Just a
wolf,
wolf.
the one that was with the Hatter.
The haberdasher.
Oh.
Sorry, the haberdasher.
Okay. Interesting.
Hello, Celisk. The thing with Nosferatu is, which is a great choice, by the way, everyone in the games currently had these encounters with them where they've only got to show off their stealth powers. But the thing you don't know about Nosferatu is they're fucking strong.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to play a Nosferatu, but at the same time, I also love cosplaying. And I don't have the time to cosplay a Nosferatu.
There is, on Twitter, there is a fantastic Twitter account called Nosferatu, and I think the correct pronoun would be she. If it isn't, I'm very, very sorry. But she does amazing cosplay, and it is an amazing account to follow. Nosferatu on Twitter.
I'll be completely honest.
Yeah,
I don't think I mentioned this to
learning
Shiver.
the makeup and then doing it every week.
I don't think I actually mentioned this to Shiver back when I was making my character. But when you gave me the giant list of all the different clans I could choose from, Nosferatu was probably third on my list.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So when I
because
first
of the
made
fact
a
that
character,
they're
when I first
mainly
made a
because
character,
of how.
Van Helsing wasn't on my list.
Can I just say, Wikipedia says, lots of facial stuff for that. Sex tape.
But yeah, Nosferatu were like, I don't know, seemed very animalistic in nature, but not in like a combat way. And just in that, I could see like an inherent strength. But yeah, I could see that they weren't really. I could maybe imagine a Nosferatu that's good at fighting, but I don't think it's probably rare.
Well, you see, I drop all these small, subtle hints. Sorry, Noscavian, go on.
Oh, so it can be scary to have someone stealth come up behind you and then stab you in the back. It's even scarier to have someone stealth come up behind you and then stab you in the back with a sword fueled by potence. Yeah, it's like potence fueled sneak attacks can be pretty devastating.
Is that different from just?
And that's why it'd be so fun to.
What was that?
Is that different from just the potence discipline? Is that just like a Nosferatu thing?
No. The same potence Bruja have, Nosferatu have, unless they changed it.
Okay.
They do. Nosferatu changed in V5. They now look like this. The new Nosferatu.
Yeah, I've seen.
They're no longer a walking masquerade breach. But in our game, we've got a mix of some of the older Nosferatu, not ancient, but some of the older malformed Nosferatu, and the modern ones that just look like very ill homeless people. No offense, homeless people.
I have thought, and I probably could do this one. I have thought about playing a Nosferatu that basically looks like trailer trash.
That'd be interesting.
And you said Armand's wife was a Karen.
Karens aren't usually trailer trash.
Yeah,
Karens are overprivileged.
High or low class.
Okay, so here's another mechanic question for you all. How do you all like using Roll20?
When it's not lagging, it's great. Yeah.
I think I rely on it too much.
In what way?
I'm starting to
for instance,
force my way. I'm starting to force myself to learn what the roles mean, so that way we can kind of call BS on the bot like we did last time.
Like with the Beast. That's a perfect example of how I relied on it too much, because when the Beast comes out, the Beast should only come out when it's a failure. It's a bestial failure. So if you've got enough successes, the Beast doesn't come out.
But the bot doesn't know what a success is.
Exactly. Which is weird because like you set like there are certain roles where it asks you what the difficulty is. And I guess it's just easier to not have to enter that for every role, but it'd be nice to enter it in on whatever role you want.
Yeah.
So are there alternatives to Roll20 for that kind of stuff or no?
There is a new one that's come out, Fantasy Grounds, I think it's called, which now supports V5. I haven't used it because I only literally paid 5 months ago I paid for an annual subscription for Roll20. So we're using Roll20 for at least another 6 months.
I kickstarted Roll20.
Oh really?
Oh really?
Nice.
Yep.
Oh,
What
do
did you
you
get for
have
that?
a lifetime account?
No, I don't think it gave me crap all.
Because I thought the
It
original.
gave me early access.
Oh,
I get a refund.
I mean, I could be wrong, but
Star
I
Citizen.
thought one of the original backer levels for Roll20 was basically you got a lifetime account or something like that.
That's not the backer
That
level
actually
I
sounds
picked.
familiar.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean,
I've
anything
heard
that
of
starts on
Fantasy Grounds.
Kickstarter is obviously a scam.
Especially like things I have to do with space and stuff like that.
I'm not entirely sure about the website Shiver was just talking about, but Roll20, even if you're not paying for it, has a lot of options for very non-standard games. Like the game I'm looking at playing with some of my friends, I didn't think was like popular enough to have a Roll20 character sheet available for it, and I found out that I was wrong. You can have a character sheet for that game, and it makes the roles a lot easier because the roles aren't, I wouldn't say as complex as Vampire, but are still like a learning curve if you've ever played like a D&D type D20 based RPG.
Have you ever seen
I
the
think
official?
the roles for Star Trek are super complicated.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that's one of the reasons I've put Star Trek on pause at the moment, is because there's so many rules to everything.
Yeah, I don't necessarily understand it.
That'll come back, and what the plan is with Star Trek Adventures is because I've got like 2 books worth of pre-made missions, I will adapt them and use them, and then hopefully I'll be like, oh, now I get it, because that's what happened with VTM. But Nitro, have you ever seen the official dice for VTM?
I believe so. When I
V5 or-
watched Seattle by Night, where it's got
show up, but there you go.
instead of a 1, it's is it a 1 or a 0 that's replaced by like
That's a 0, just
skull
black.
or something. Okay.
That's a 10.
Shiver.
Go on, show it.
Shiver. It's big and black.
It is. So's the dice.
So
Yeah,
I think I might have gotten
the-
screwed out of my Kickstarter benefits for Roll20.
Oh.
Oh,
I
And then
I'm
for Hunger
looking back
Dice, yeah.
through old emails. And yeah, I think
I feel like-
I might
go
have
get him, Miss
gotten out of
Hodge.
that might have been. I mean, it was from 2012.
So it might have
You're like, hey,
gone
where's
to.
my lifetime account?
Yeah, I'm not dealing
Might
with
have
it at
got
this point.
I was gonna say it might have gone to your Indianapolis address or whatever that you got.
I just want to
Well,
say,
maybe
you
it
said
was a different
2012, and I'm
email.
like,
Email
that was
went
only
to
a
my
couple of years
Indianapolis
ago.
address?
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
right.
2012. I just googled it.
See, what's really nice about the VT, like the official VTM dice, is that sure they're custom symbols, but it's just like an easy at a glance, you failed or you succeeded type thing, where it's like you failed, it's the symbol, right? But I mean, but like the old D6 Star Wars game, like Traven just mentioned, they're D6s, but they're all like they're different symbols on each one. and depending on the symbol that you roll, depends on a different thing. And it's like it's not number based at all, and it's super. I watched the Penny Arcade guys play the Star Wars thing, and even though the GM explained what every role was and did this and did that, I was like, I don't know how anyone would play this game at all.
I just want to say hello to Vancouver by Night. We love you.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. Yeah. I had to get the normal. Go on, focus. Normal dice, because the even those were hard to get at the time.
I see two shivers.
One of the things I want to do,
I don't think he
whilst Vancouver by Night is here, is eventually I would like to write a story where I can actually ask, hey, Vancouver by Night, do you want to come guest with us? But the problem is, at the moment, I haven't got this character in mind that he could play yet.
Honestly, the one thing about Roll20 is that they're probably seeing a lot more traffic than they expected. So that's possibly one of the reasons why you have trouble with it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very true. But like even on top of the Star Wars game I was just talking about, Shiv, I know in the game channel on your server I posted that tabletop game that was being kickstarted or whatever. It's kind of like Warhammer but less grimdark and more just like straight up sci-fi. And that I watched a video on how that game works, and those dice not only have symbols but they have numbers on them, and it like I feel like the first 5 minutes I watched the clip and I was like, combat in this game seems really cool, but I have no idea how it works.
I had dice that I bought 20 years ago, but I have no clue where they are now.
Yeah, I have a dice bag full of dice sets, and I'm not sure where they are. The last time I saw them was 2 moves ago. You're
muted, Noscavian.
I am.
Wait, did you say dice bags or something else?
So
I have a dice bag full of dice.
Dice in my
you guys
wallet
said
right
dime
now.
bag.
Nice.
Let's see. This is the dice I have in my wallet right now.
Nice. Oh, have you guys ever?
Because you always need to carry a D20 or a D6 with you.
I've got a plectrum in
have
my
you guys
wallet.
Nice. Have you guys ever
But
bought
Michelle,
I actually used to carry a pick with me too.
But it's not perfect D20s. I've seen a shirt.
They're all natural too.
have you
I
guys
also
ever
have an
seen
alum key in my wallet.
Crown Royal dice bags? They're really cool because when you buy one, you get a free bottle of whiskey.
Free bottle of whiskey.
I have
They're kind of expensive for dice bags, but
my friend hoards die, and it's funny because they don't even play tabletop RPGs. They just like dice.
But they're dice are so satisfying.
They're like
dice are the original together, right?
Basically.
We went to a convention last summer together, and they had the level up dice people there that like they make really nice like hand carved dice or whatever out of different rocks. And
that's
whatnot.
what Vancouver by Night was mentioning.
Yeah, I think that's what I actually. But these are mini. They're out of some sort of stone. They're super heavy.
I bought one set because I was like, that's all I need, and they're really expensive. My friend bought 3. And I was like, what do you even play? And they're like, I don't play anything. I just like die.
Dice are pretty.
Are you familiar with Dogmite?
Yeah.
The company Dogmite. If you've ever seen LA by Night, Jason Carl uses this gorgeous storyteller screen. It's a wooden handmade thing, and they're done by Dogmite. Just before the whole lockdown happened, I emailed them because I was going to order one of their storyteller things, but the problem came when PayPal didn't recognize my address because Japan has weird postcodes, and they're like, that's not a real postcode. So I had to email them, and they've never, because of the lockdown, they haven't got back to me, and that was 3 months ago.
Oh wow.
Hey, sure, they don't even allow links in your chat.
You should be able to, yeah.
Yeah, you're a moderator. You should be able to.
Yeah, but how do you allow it?
Yeah, you should just be able to do it, I think.
For somebody else.
I don't know.
For someone
because I don't
else,
have a
yeah. Okay, well
yeah,
then
they
I'm
should
just gonna
be able
do
to.
it. I'm assuming this is what you're trying to post, Waka.
I'm not quite sure about Dogmite, but another company called Wormwood make really good like hardwood base. That's really cool.
That's cool.
That's really cool. But they make like really nice hand carved wooden like dice trays for you to roll your dice in, dice towers if you don't want to roll them by hand, dice cases like the one that came with my dice set. And they have like all kinds of different types of wood that are really nice.
It's got the regular story.
I'm not going to go there.
Vampire.
Shut up, Asgard.
That you never use.
You don't want to talk about wood. Anyway, one thing I like about PAX East is that they have a bunch of different vendors and stuff like that, and they have so many like dice or cards or tabletop RPG stuff vendors at PAX East. And I like to go in and look around and say, oh, that's cool. That's expensive, but cool.
I so miss going to Gen Con. I haven't been able to go to Gen Con since moving to Texas, but I used to dance at Gen Con every year. And yeah, the number of dice vendors and of course all the tabletop games and the card games and board games, and I never got through everything. Granted, it's also a working thing, but still, I had enough time. I should still have gotten through everything.
Yeah, the convention that my friends and I went to a couple of years now, they have a bunch of really cool like panels and whatnot to go to, but they also have the whole like convention floor where they have artists and vendors and this and that. And I've spent so much time just being like, yeah, I could go see that really cool panel for the thing I like, or I could spend another hour just patrolling the convention floor and looking at different shops. And I usually choose to patrol the shops more.
If they have that again this year, I should go for a day.
Probably not going to happen this year, though.
The thing about PAX East is that the vendors will always be there, but the panels will be online too, so you could always catch the panel online later. But I like to be the panel for the because to be there live and everything. But I mean I like those actually. But if I had to choose between two, I would probably choose the panel.
Hello there, Sith Wizard.
I was say that in Harry's voice
this year, but it got canceled.
Greetings, Sith Wizard.
This is the first year I was actually going to go, and they were like, "Nope."
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm still wondering if I'm guessing I'm probably not going to have my concert next month, which makes me sad.
Mm.
Yeah, just a couple of days ago, I was looking to see whether or not it was still on, and you could still buy tickets.
They haven't canceled it yet. In fact, I looked today.
Yeah, okay, you looked today. I looked at
convention. Yeah, the convention I normally go down to Texas for with my friends during the summer. They haven't canceled it yet, but it got moved, and just it being moved already makes it hard for me to go, because it's like during the summer I don't have to worry about like skipping class or anything, just to go there for a week. But now it's like, I think they moved it to August or September. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm supposed to see Janet Jackson in July, and they haven't canceled that or postponed that yet.
Is that a concert or a date?
Yes. No, it's a concert. In fact, I was looking to see if I could upgrade my seat. But I'm not sure if I can. Close to the date, I'll look into it more.
And on that revelation that Fastcart is now dating Janet Jackson, we'll start to wind it up. So, thank you all for coming. Nitro, where can we find you?
You can find me everywhere at Nitro Type Hat.
Noscavian, where can we find you?
Here, I don't really do anything else. I play Star Citizen on occasion.
Ms. Hartz, where can we find you?
You can find me as Ms. Hearts on Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. Just about anywhere you can do a thing at. You can also hear I Want My 80s show with me on Tuesday nights at 7 Central Time. Convert to your own damn time zone. And then, of course, here.
Fastcart, where can we find you?
You can find me on twitter.com/fast_cart. You can also find me on Tuesday with Miss Hearts, because I have my own set called Fight the Rhythm. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, convert to your own time zone.
And Soul
And
Citizens.
also, you can find me here sometimes.
Yeah, and Soul Citizens.
Oh, and Soul Citizens on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Do you want to wave to the threes of viewers?
3オブビュー。
Threes of viewers.
2人3オブビューはつってね。
William's got a wave too.
何3オブビューはつってない。
Yes.
Did she hear you, or did she just guess that?
Oh, she'll do
Probably
that.
just guessed it.
And London's Burning will be back for the regular session on Sunday?
Saturday.
Is it Saturday?
Saturday.
So it's Sunday
Saturday,
for me.
damn it. Saturday.
Saturday for you people in a normal time zone. Sunday for me.
And also on Friday, our time zone, something else happened.
Real quick, I want to
Yes.
read Chavin's comment. If you watch vampire movies backwards, then the movie is about vampires donating free blood.
It's Friday. It is Friday because it's my Saturday. I'm doing a new Dead Air on the bass.
Yay, it's horror music.
If you like alternative and / or black metal, no one comes to that show.
Yeah,
Live, I
Your
actually have
terrible
to
music.
tune
This
this
is how
time.
this is how I pimp your show on my show. Is I say it's all the terrible music your little black heart might desire.
If you don't care about your soul going to an afterlife that's pleasant, come listen to Dead Air.
Yeah,
also
considering
release
it's
this
live,
on
I might have to
Saturday.
listen to it this week.
So yeah, we'll be back with London's Burning
I
on
actually might not be able
Saturday, your time zone?
to. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
A day later than our normal time.
But the regular normal time start.
Exactly.
Normal time, different day.
Thank you all
Same
for coming.
bat time, same bat channel, different bat day.
And bat because we're vampires.
Thank you
At
all.
least
Take
no one
care.
made a very tropey Batman character. I'm Batman.
Everyone
I
say
think
good
my
night.
character's kind of Batman.
You should tell them all, thanks for watching. I'll leave now.
Oh, we have a new emote.
Oh, we do have a new emote.
I can't use it because I don't pay for it. But
Yeah, same.
What time Central Time? What time? Yeah, what time is Central Time?
6 p.m.
It is GMT
And right now it's
minus
8 p.m.
7. Is it 7?
Minus 6. Because
Minus
EST
6.
is
You're right,
minus
minus
5.
6.
I have no clue.
Mountain-
Right now it's 8 p.m. Central.
Use
Well, we
time
start at
bot.
past.
It's there for a reason.
It's Eastern. It's US East minus 1. So it's GMT.
So
minus
6:30 p.m.
On Saturday, yes.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I'm
it's
sorry.
gonna
6
be-
p.m. is when we start our call.
It's
6:30.
going to be midnight 30 on GMT.
Thank you all. Take care.
Have a good
Thanks
night.
for watching.